Now that they're done giving me this bullshit notification about not having the right resolution. Thank you for commenting. I suppose that did it, Miss Q. Can't hear that? Lights, camera, action! Trogdor! Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Where is the regular camera? Was that the regular camera? No, that wasn't the regular camera. That's not the regular camera either, apparently. How do we use this thing? There it is. Now I'm just a shadow. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to the Easy Reefers channel. Yes, the sound comes on when I demute the microphone there. That, is helpful. Happy New Year. Oi. Let's see if I can get the right background to show up. There we go. That works. Good enough for me, at least. Anyways. So, I was thinking about putting on some music to see if we had more people join us today. But, the food isn't ready yet, so. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm waiting on the wife is next door helping cook a meal for a bunch of people, and we don't have the chillins. So, apparently, when you don't have your kids, people feed you. I'm easy to feed. For a guy 6'3", I'm definitely not a large appetite type person. Even though I only eat one meal a day, it's still a relatively small meal. Anyways. But don't think I don't have snacks between meals. I have my never-ending sustenance staple food. It's like a hamster pellet for Sean, basically. It's got bread, milk, eggs, and sugar, and chocolate. And those are pretty much all the major food groups as far as I'm concerned. And those particular cookies, I don't know if you've ever had Keebler soft batch cookies. There's a lot of different Chewy Chips Ahoy and different little fucking things that they say, and they're soft or chewy or whatever. No, nothing like some fucking Keebler soft batch. My God, tastes like a grandmother just like made them just for you every fucking time. Oh, and microwave them a little. Just prepare to get fat. But myself, I don't have to worry too much about getting fat, except for my gut. Like, the rest of me just stays like some sort of walking stick with human skin stretched over it. And then I just have this like goat bladder of a gut. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I stopped working out as effectively as I used to. I still do it as often. I just don't do it as effectively. Because I don't have a fucking door frame in this entire house that can hold my workout thing. And as such, after 7 years of living here, I no longer know where my workout thing even is, I don't think. There's a bow and arrow, that's not it. Weed eater? No, that's not it. Shit. Yeah. I used to do a 7-angle crunch routine that amounted to 120 total reps, and I did that 3 times a week, and this all held together down here. Now it's like if it gets cold, I can hardly avoid my belt buckle touching my fucking navel. That's just obnoxious. I like tuck my shirt in between there, in between my little gut flap. No, it's not that bad, but still, it's a hell of a lot worse than I'm used to. I think people overall, let's get into the preaching, shall we? I think people overall eat too much. I think because of our, especially here in America, one of the reasons why we wound up being one of the most gluttonous countries. We're not anymore, by the way. We're not. We're one of the most gluttonous countries, but for a while we were like the consistently most gluttonous country. Most obese people, you know. But one of the reasons why is because of basically the economic strength of Kraft and Kellogg Brown and Root. Happy New Year. How's it going? Your toes feel like ice cubes? Well, I think I'm doing better than you. My toes feel like, I don't know, mud lollipops. 'Cause that's pretty much what they usually are. They're just covered in fucking mud. I try to brush it off, but it doesn't, you know. Doesn't work too well. Because another thing that I think people do too much is bathe. Now, I'm not saying there's some kind of sinister plot, okay? Because there's a fine line between sinister and salesmanship. You know? Like, as a former homeless person, I can tell you, people bathe way more than they fucking actually need to. Alright? Now, I'm not talking about keeping your hands and face and your balls and your asshole clean. You know, like, these are important things. Alright? But that's what paper towels are for. You know? People waste a lot of water and power, not just in their house, but in the processing of the soaps that they use. Over and over again, every single day, really? Every day? What kind of dirty shit are you... Like, if you're not a carpenter, or a plumber, or a carpet cleaner, or one of the many jobs that I've had, where you get fucking dirty as hell by the end of the day, you know, going, working, and fucking cleaning up grocery store bathrooms and shit, you know, like, you don't need to take a shower every fucking day. You need to wash your hands, you need to wash your face, You need to watch your cross and your crack, okay? It's just a couple more than George Carlin had, you know. Keeping your armpits clean is, you know, good but not entirely necessary. Deodorant's a wonderful thing, you know. But people should really consider bathing every 3 to 5 days, depending on the temperature that you maintain. If you're not perspiring, oh, you can go 5 days to a fucking week. Minimal perspiration, 5 days. Now, if you're outside sweating every fucking day, take your ass a shower when you get home. Don't be disgusting, okay? But if, like, you know, you work up a sweat and then you towel off, you know, just towel off more effectively. Huh? You work up a sweat, dry off your balls with a clean towel. Get a good scrub going, you know? Do a little dance, floss in the mirror. Your body is releasing all of the dirt at once. All you have to do is get it the fuck off of yourself. You don't need detergent. You don't need to poison your fucking skin. You don't need to lock shit up inside of yourself. That's the danger of over-moisturizing, you see. The sweat, especially in your feet. Say if you if you sweat a lot, you should wear thick socks and make sure that you have thick socks every day. Because heavy minerals, you know, the shit that does damage to your system, come out in your foot sweat. So at the end of the day, take off your fucking sock, wash your feet, or, you know, if you know someone who's nice, they might wash them for you. But that was a long time ago. It's hard to find people that nice anymore. But, you know, see, just like these days when detergents and food are big business things, back then, salt was a big business thing. So you can imagine that every which way people could use for salt, they would use for salt, man. And that was one of the reasons why foot washing was so common, was because salt was such a prosperous industry. Salesmanship, okay? Nothing sinister about foot washing, is there? No, it helps fucking prevent cancer, doesn't it? But see, these people trying to make better detergents and moisturizers, they're not trying to fuck you up. They don't realize that, you know, by sealing up your pores with oils, they can cause your shit to block up at your feet. And then you wind up doing things like Dr. Scholl's odor or perspiration preventing things, and like, no, if your feet want to sweat, you need them to sweat. If they stink, you need to wash them. There's not a whole lot of use in taking off your shoes and then putting fucking lotion on them. What you're doing is kind of painting a little seal on top of where shit needs to be released the most in your entire body. Now, deodorant's up here. It's you know, you're not releasing heavy minerals through your armpits. But in your feet, not only does your blood vessels, your whole system slow down because of that pressure when it goes back up your heel, allowing more release of minerals, but then just the natural tendency of molecular mass to flow downward. That's why you get that that black toxicity on the bottom of your sock on the inside. That's a good thing. It's supposed to be there. Foot detox? Yeah. Brackish water. Nice, warm fucking Epsom salts, or I don't know if Epsom salt is cheaper than saltwater salt, because I never buy Epsom salt. We just used saltwater salt for Epsom salt around here, and it works good. The reef crystals. What happened was we had an unknown substance spill on a large, brand new bag of like just open reef crystals. So we wound up just having this solid chunk of reef crystals, and it was like maybe a drink or some I don't know, like water. We don't know what the hell got on it, but it didn't seem like it could have been anything harmful. So we started using that shit as bathing salts and foot washing salts. Works good. But all you need to do for foot washing is go to the little rubber bin section of Walmart, or anywhere local that happens to have these fucking things, but nobody does. But buy yourself a 14 by 16 inch reef salt. I use the reef crystals as like an inadvertent choice, kind of. You know, like it's like, fate has led me to this. What are the benefits of this, fate? Oh, well, high magnesium and calcium for you. That's a fucking good thing. And your body, just like, you know, swimming in the ocean, only minus any sort of noxious chemicals other than what you have in your tap water. And we're red on the stream. Not using any internet. Did I get a text message? Let's see here. Did airplane mode help? No, airplane mode doesn't help. But anyways, so just like bathing in the ocean, only, you know, less risk. Rinsing, you know, you can soak for a while in that salt water, and it'll just open up your pores, the warmth of the water, and it'll just start flowing right into your blood through your skin, because that's what salt water does, because your blood is basically salt water. And if you submerge yourself in an isolation chamber, inside of some pure salt water, you can probably meditate yourself to a state of accelerated healing, and probably come out looking a lot younger. You can hear a Morse code signal on top of the broadcast right now. Anyways, one of the ancient ways to build a Cyrene temple way they would, before they rebelled, I guess. Well, tried to destroy humanity. You know, that's kind of a bad. They're sorry. You know, like they've made amends since then. They've largely made amends. They realized that they were tricked, which, you know, happens to the best of us. But anyways, so back to the way that their temples would be built. I would have their temples be built. Hello?
I tried to call you.
Oh, you did?
It was going straight to voicemail.
That would be why the stream fucked up. Okay.
I have to pee real quick, but
Okay. Well, cool. I'm going to get through this story, and then I'll put on some music, and then I'll be back in a little while. Fuck was the story? Oh, yeah, Sirene Temples. Oh, that's a doozy. So, essentially, what you want is to first tell your dog to shut up. Dingo! That's enough. Okay. Just chewing that ass, don't you? Okay. Don't you? I don't know. Words came out of my face, and I'm not sure what they were. Then I heard them, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So to build a Sirene temple, you need essentially a huge stone monument. And you'd have an inner chamber and an access to well, there was an evolution of the type of outlet there would be at the top. At first it was kind of a statuesque ziggurat that would be covered in some sort of conductive material. Gold would be the best. Gold becoming a pretty thing is something that happened later. Okay, and this might be one of the reasons why. But essentially, there would be a bathing pool. Okay? Not a coffin in the middle of this giant stone structure. Okay? A bathing pool. And it was just designed to simply hold seawater. Okay? And or some other alkaline water. I mean, there was different types of salts that you could use. Anyways, that's a little more detailed than I want to get into right now. Let me get the larger camera up here so I can tell this a little better. So, would you mind turning on the couch this way? Alright. That didn't help a whole lot, but whatever. So you got your monument, got your chamber, and you're going to have conduits leading upwards that most effectively resonate different notes. Okay? And then you have on top of it basically a fucking satellite dish, but an ancient, you know, pretty and innocuous, well, at first innocuous, and then later just downright technological. And the priestess or demigoddess would be submerged into her ears in the water in this chamber, and it'd be designed to carry her voice into the conduits, and she would sing she would meditate and sing the meditations. And that would resonate throughout the span of the effectiveness of whatever array that was at the top of the temple.
Never did like water in my ears.
So, not granaries, and that's the purpose and reasons for the commonality of designs. And, well, if you want to cover up the whole history of the goddess and the siren and the muses and steal all the gold too, just say they're what? Tombs. Yeah, tombs. They're not fucking tombs. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Alright, so le food is le ready. So I'm gonna get the fuck le eating.
Yay, le eating.
I'm gonna put the nice view of the fish tank on here. And we're gonna put some music on here. As soon as my computer will respond on here. Yes, resonance healing chambers, exactly. Very good. But more than that, political, religious prayers, healing, societal unity, mourning, passing of the dead. Passing of the dead would always be sang. Like it was kind of like a district thing. It's almost one of the bases of regional governments developing. Anyways, look at all those fucking profound thoughts I could get out while trying to look for what I'm doing on here. Okay, media file. Yeah. All right, so. Need a nice long song, yeah. It's like the longest fucking thing I have. Shut up. Loving You is 8 minutes long. And that's a good damn song. So we're going to play that one. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on.
Driving at you, baby, at your brain. I'ma try real hard. Play my cards right, baby, not at all. Here it comes, coming to you. I'm finding, baby, what's deep in you. I'm trying to find myself in this great world with this bad hell. Trying to find me too in the midst of the ills I see. And I know the Holy Ghost, but it tries to get me close. I'm going to a place where I won't find nobody but you. I'm trying to not lose my can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. You. Peace of mind deep inside, but it's coming, baby, and you can't hide. I'm trying to find you where some baby out with the long brown hair. Come on, girl, come to me. I want you, baby, more than you can see. I'm coming hard. It's a coming, baby, you can't stop. Baby, can't stop loving you. I know, baby, no, I can't stop loving you. I can't, baby, no, can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. People go, they keep running, but they're running too slow. I'm unkind, I know why. Smoke the shit, man, to get real high. Here I'm trying to find you, babe, on a plane of some way. I'm crying in the rain, but it's hard to see my pain through you. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh I can stop loving you, you. Loving you, I can't stop loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you. Loving you, loving you, loving, 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 loving you. Trying to leave my soul intact from the demons that are coming at my home. It ain't hard, and it seems I know what's one of his evil schemes. I'm coming fast. Don't stop it now or you break your glass. It ain't hard to understand what it takes to be a loving man. I can't stop loving you. No, 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 can't stop loving you. No, no, baby, no. I said no, honey, darling, no, I can't stop loving you. Oh, what I say now, Sean? I said no, baby, I can't stop loving you. Here we go, take me out. No, 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 I can't ecologically. No, no, baby, I can't stop loving you. Oh, no, I can't stop loving you. That's right, loving you, baby. I love you. Woo. No key in it? E major. You might want to do A. Driving at you, baby, at your brain. I'ma try real hard. Play my cards right, baby, not at all. Here it comes, coming to you. I'm finding, baby, what's deep in you. I'm trying to find myself in this great world with this bad hell. Trying to find me too in the midst of the ills I see. And I know the Holy Ghost, but it tries to get me close. I'm going to a place where I won't find nobody but you. I'm trying to not lose my cool, but it's a coming and I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. You. Peace of mind deep inside, but it's coming, baby, and you can't hide. I'm trying to find you where some baby out with the long brown hair. Come on, girl, come to me. I want you, baby, more than you can see. I'm coming hard. It's a coming, baby, you can't stop. Baby, can't stop loving you. I know, baby, no, I can't stop loving you. I can't, baby, no, can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. people go. They keep running, but they're running too slow. I'm unkind, I know why. Smoke the shit, man, to get real high. Here I'm trying to find you, babe, on a plane love's away. I'm crying in the rain, but it's hard to see my pain through you. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh I can stop loving you, you, loving you, I can't stop loving you, loving you. Trying to leave my soul intact from the demons that are coming at my home. It ain't hard, and it seems I know what's one of his evil schemes. I'm a-coming fast. Don't stop it now or you break your glass. It ain't hard to understand what it takes to be a loving man. I can't stop loving you. No, 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 can't stop loving you. No, no, baby, no. I said no, honey, darling, no, I can't stop loving you. Oh, what I say now, Sean? I said no, baby, I can't stop loving you. Here we go, take me out. No, 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 I can't stop loving you. Oh, here you come, baby. No, no, baby, I can't stop loving you. No, no, I can't stop loving you. That's right, loving you, baby. I love you. E major. You might want to do A. Driving at you, baby, at your brain. I'ma try real hard. Play my cards right, baby, not at all. Here it comes, coming to you. I'm finding, baby, what's deep in you. I'ma trying to find myself in this great world with this bad hell. midst of the elves I see, then I know the Holy Ghost, but it tries to get me close. I'm going to a place where I won't find nobody but you. I'm trying to not lose my cool, but it's a coming and I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. Peace of mind deep inside, but it's coming, baby, and you can't hide. I'm trying to find you where some baby out with the long brown hair. Come on, girl, come to me. I want you, baby, more than you can see. I'm coming hard. It's a coming, baby, you can't stop. Baby, can't stop loving you. I know, baby, no, I can't stop loving you. I can't, baby, no, can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. People go, they keep running, but they're running too slow. I'm unkind, I know why. Smoke the shit, man, to get real high. Here I'm trying to find you, babe, on a plane of away. I'm crying in the rain, but it's hard to see my pain through you. Oh no, oh no, oh I can stop loving you, loving you, I can't stop loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you. Loving you, loving, 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 loving you. Trying to leave my soul intact from the demons that are coming at my home. It ain't hard, and it seems I know what's one of his evil schemes. I'm coming fast. Don't stop it now or you break your glass. It ain't hard to understand. what it takes to be a loving man. I can't stop loving you. No, 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 can't stop loving you. No, no, baby, no. I said no, honey, darling, no, I can't stop loving you. Oh, what I say now, Sean? I said no, baby, I can't stop loving you. That's right, loving you, baby. I love you. Woo. No key in you? E major. You might want to do A. Driving at you, baby, at your brain. I'ma try real hard. Play my cards right, baby, not at all. Here it comes, coming to you. I'm finding, baby, what's deep in you. I'm trying to find myself in this great world with this bad hell. Trying to find me too in the midst of the ills I see. And I know the Holy Ghost, but it tries to get me close. I'm going to a place where I won't find nobody but you. I'm trying to not lose my cool, but it's a coming and I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. You. Peace of mind deep inside, but it's coming, baby, and you can't hide. I'm trying to find you where some baby out with the long brown hair. Come on, girl, come to me. I want you, baby, more than you can see. I'm coming hard. It's a coming, baby, you can't stop. Baby, can't stop loving you. I know, baby, no, I can't stop loving you. I can't, baby, no, can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. go. They keep running but to find you, babe, on a plane of away. I'm crying in the rain, but it's hard to see my pain through you. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh I can stop loving you, you, loving you, I can't stop loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving, 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 loving you. Trying to leave my soul intact from the demons that are coming at my home. It ain't hard, and it seems I know what's one of his evil schemes. I'm a-coming fast. Don't stop it now or you break your glass. It ain't hard to understand what it takes to be a loving man. I can't stop loving you. No, 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 can't stop loving you. No, no, baby, no. I said no, honey, darling, no, I can't stop loving you. Oh, what I say now, Sean? I said no, baby, I can't stop loving you. Here we go, take me out. No, 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 I can't stop loving you. Are you coming? No, no, baby, I can't stop loving you. Oh, no, no, I can't stop loving you. That's right, loving you, baby. I love you. Woo.
So how many times did it play through? Had to have some black-eyed peas and cabbage.
As is the Cajun tradition, for wealth and prosperity into the new year.
Yeah.
Oh, and food for thought, you're not supposed to do your laundry on New Year's Day.
Not supposed to do your laundry?
No, because that means that you're going to have extra baggage in the year and you'll be doing laundry a lot.
Let's see here. What is wrong with the cameras? Still, just no lighting whatsoever. Okay. Oh, the continued fuckery. All right, let me see what I can do about this. Oh, there we go. Hey, look, I'm visible.
Woohoo! Oh crap, so am I. Hi! At least I washed my hair. And not with dry shampoo again.
4 or 55. Yeah, that would be quite a big range. It was either 4 or 55. Let's see here. Exposure helps a little, but that's going to slow it down, isn't it? Or does it? Yeah. It's just like instant LSD hallucinations. Whoa. Okay. Low light compensation? No. Brightness? No. Contrast? Better. More brightness. More contrast. Hey, I said more contrast. We'll do 21 and 42. Do I have numbers here? No. No.
Amos
Numbers.
2.
21. Oh, it's a tuning. Okay, I can't type in the number.
Lainey, you want to tell everybody Happy New Year? Happy New Year from the kitty. Alright, go play.
What does backlight compensation do? Gain. Ah, gain. Okay. Alright, whatever. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it there. That's good enough. Yep. Okay.
Ooh, I'm fat and sassy right now.
So, what was we talking about?
Gold.
What?
What?
Gold? Oh yeah, gold. We were.
I know.
I thought you were just being facetious.
No. I was actually paying attention for the 5 minutes that I was in here, trying to get you to come out the door to eat. Lane's like, I want coffee, Daddy.
I'm glad your bed has arrived, kitten. Fucking. Yeah, people are looking at you. It's not me.
My sweet
Anyway.
boy. Who's my sweet, spoiled little boy? Are you my sweet, spoiled little boy? Yes, you are my
I'll
sweet,
put the camera on you
spoiled
instead.
Who's sweet, spoiled
Because you're
little
even more
boy?
amusing now.
Who's my sweet baby? Oh, who's Mama's baby?
So, yeah, people are generally on the right track when they talk about the resonance locations of those temples. And, you know, one way they get it, I don't know if you could say wrong, but one way they get it incomplete, I suppose, is by thinking that those temples were built on those sites, as opposed to those sites coming to be located in those resonance paddles, because those temples were built there, the way the world continuously expands.
He's like, why'd you stop? He's gonna start drooling. He's getting a shiatsu kitten massage.
I'm just fidgeting with my hand while I speak, and just kitten.
He doesn't even care. Keep petting and loving me. Keep petting and loving me.
This is how you keep your cat out of the fish tank. See, you spoil them rotten. And then when you yell at them, they listen. Except for when it comes to his balls making him run out of the house. I'm such a smart ass. Dumbass. What is it? Ass. But yeah, so the dispersion of the temples was based on just area, population, facsimile, the geologically suited places for them, you know. The temples in Egypt are actually much newer. But still count. And there are different similar pyramid structures that are some of them exactly what they say they are. But the big main ones with no writing on the inside, this is, it's all part of the reason why there's no writing on the inside. But during the Golden Age, all of these temples were active at once, and the way the crust of the earth formed in the ridges, the way things continued to expand just as far as molecular space goes, and the way continents drifted, all formed kind of the way a wave pattern forms on the sea, on the sand, and that's how you get those, the different pattern thing. It kind of looks like I had it in my other notebook. But if you've done research on this subject, you already know what I'm talking about. It's like that kaleidoscope, not concentric circles, but concentric circles, and how they line up with all the other ones, and the big nested pattern that it forms. What is that? Kind of like that. Let's see if that can show up. But it's sort of the inverse of what they say. It's not that those are built on those lines, but those lines came to be in the place that they are over time as those resonant structures, well, basically healed the divide of the first war in heaven and created, or coheted, make that a verb, gave cohesion to this plane. Anyways, I think that's it for that. little segment. It was interesting. So before I go into the the history of the Lost Begotten channel and Easy Reefers and why it got changed and I try to stay on the points that I was making as opposed to bitching about what YouTube did to fuck with me for it. And I want to talk about how some very outlandish things that I was saying in 2015 are all kind of plainly fucking obvious now. But first, some news. Apparently the Pentagon got in trouble for issuing a tweet about dropping something on our enemies or something like that. They had to retract it for comparing the New Year's ball drop in Times Square to dropping bombs on terrorists and shit. Dingo! Really? Really? Dingo! Jeez. Anyways. So that's just a special thing that stood out to me today. On top of that, something that's actually important. Trump has apparently given our detachment in Syria 4 months to get the hell out. Wow. I mean, 6 months would be like, are you shitting me? But 4? Is he planning on burning? How are we going to get all of our shit out of there in 4 months? I'm just saying, that's enough time to drive a few vehicles where they need to go. But, not safely, A 4-month wind down is the kind of plan where you get half your shit, put it in a pile, and burn it before you leave, basically. I don't even know if they have a secure supply route or escape route from where they are. It's all been kind of pushed through no man's land or airdropped in. With ospreys and shit. Very skittish. So anyways. Do you remember the reason we first started the YouTube channel?
When the Ukraine thing broke out?
Yeah. Remember how it was going on Facebook before that?
Do you know I still get requests weekly from about 4 or 5 people a week joining the Support Ukraine page?
How many of them seem legit?
All of them, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are students in Kiev, actually. Like college-age people in Kiev.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If they're real. If they're real. Could just be more clever fakes, but you never know.
Most of them, their profiles were created in between 2010 and 2011. So, like, I'm going based off of also,
Right.
like, if you're a brand new person who just has, like, just
Right,
joined Facebook,
right.
I'm not even bothering with that.
Right.
And then I put questions up.
She loved the mustache thing.
Oh. That was back when my hair was long. Oh, I miss my long hair.
A mustache, you a question.
But I'll shave it for later.
Anyways. So, let's get a folder view up here. And,
Hello, Molly. Oh, my sweet boy. You miss my good Mama? Or are you teasing Mama to go back down on Daddy? Yep, you're teasing
kind of go
Mommy.
through this history thing.
Why does he always do that? He gets him in my face and loves on me and then comes and sits in your lap.
It's because I'm sitting Indian style or close enough.
Yeah, but, like, my lap is not his sleeping spot.
All right.
My shoulder is.
I'm trying to get into the actual subject of the video, dude. Do you mind? We'll stop talking about the kitten for a little while. We can get back into talking about the kitten more, I'm sure. But just for now. Just a little break from the kitten. Just a little tiny break from the kitten. What movie am I almost quoting? It sounds familiar, huh? So, it all started, for me anyways, long before 2015. And in fact, I think I have an older photograph of myself, if I can find it. That might paint a pretty fair picture. If I can find it. No, that's too young. That's not even like the front of me. I'm not even sure if that's me or my sister. I remember my mom taking a picture of me in a place like that, though. I was like having like this deep, intense fucking daydream, and I turned around, my mom's taking a picture. I think that was the picture that I ended the video with last night. Where the hell is the other picture? See, the channel starts because of the way this wasn't lining up with this in reality. And eventually we came to where we are. And when this channel first started, people didn't even know that Russia was our enemy. Because for some reason, they just weren't seeing things that were happening. Starting to wonder if I'm in the right folder here. Let's see, we got channel icons. Oh, this is from his Marriott deal. went sour before Marriott started having problems with fires and stuff. I feel like I'm missing something. This shit was just in this folder. Where is it? I don't know.
Does your salsa want to make all the pretty girls dance and take off their underpants?
Yeah, sometimes. Only on Tuesdays.
Oh, you're in luck. It happens to be Tuesday.
So, this channel made about a fifth of its content in the first year-long season about flat Earth videos. Because I find flat Earth theory to be very interesting. I find the amount of bullshit put out by the space programs of the world very interesting. And I also found the fact that all of the so-called flat earthers were only willing to criticize NASA and never, ever, 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 ever Russia. As if NASA started the space age. And during a time in which pretty much the entire space program was no longer, filmed in Hollywood or wherever the fuck they shot this bullshit. But was actually, fucking actual rockets that are much more advanced than our rockets have ever been. And where are they on this map? Oh, they're up there in Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan. That's a great map, isn't it? Here I am, 12 years old. Notice the Louisiana license plate and the Texas bumper sticker in my mom's car. That is a Peugeot. Was it the 306 or whatever, the sedan that they brought to America that was almost always brown? Yeah, that one. Peugeot. And I was installing some... Actually, I installed a whole new car stereo in there. I was installing the rear speakers at that point. Because that was a 80s model car. 89, I think. And they put literally no effort into the sound system. Anyways. "12-year-old. I want you to notice something about this particular 12-year-old. See, at this point, I was actually basically a retired gang member. Moved away. Got away. Hoped nobody could fucking find me. "12 years old, ready to end your life. Wasn't I adorable?
I know
With
what
my
happened.
Marlboro hat. Oh, fuck. Jesus.
I love you. I always make that joke when somebody shows me a picture of them as a kid.
Oh, I usually make that joke about myself.
Oh, what then? So adorable. I say that about my own pictures. Look, I was so cute when I was little. What the fuck happened?
After Louisiana, for a while, I loosened up. As you can see, my little Marlboro hat with the snake on the front that I had paid for with Marlboro miles from cigarettes that I'd smoked. At, again, 12 years old, I had an extensive collection of Marlboro apparel that I got from fucking miles. I had a nice duffel bag. I think I had a fanny pack. Fuck. But suffice to say, I've been a little bit of a weirdo my whole life. You know, not like now where I'm perfectly normal.
Oh yes, perfectly normal.
But suffice to say, when I see people like this, I know what I'm looking at. Sheltered little white boys who think they're half as tough as I was when I was 5 years younger and fucking 60 pounds lighter. Oh yeah, you like the little skater boy pictures? There should be more of those. It's a shame that there aren't. I've got a few of them where I was actually writing, but none of those are them. I was never all that great on a skateboard. It was mostly a mode of transportation, but all these kick flips, shove-its, and I like to do little freestyle stuff. But I've only ever rolled with groups that maybe had like one kid that could do an impossible or something like that. And always older kids than me, always older. But anyways, I seem to have lost track of what I was talking about. So, these warnings I was given, it was because of what was going on here on YouTube. Not only with the whole Alex Jones and fucking InfoWars and every associated little sociopath that had some sort of thing to say about aliens or the Illuminati or something, or even the so-called lefties wanting to turn people paranoid against their own governments. Eventually, even Fox News wanting to turn people paranoid against their own government. And nobody was paying any attention whatsoever to the growing dominance of Russia. That I made basically the rest of my channel mission to try to explain why these white people thought that these white people would help them save themselves from Muslims while Putin was building this in Moscow. Slow that word down when you say it just for a second. Moscow. Mosque of. That's the proper term. It would be Moskov. Ow is, W's don't exist. Not anti-Islamic, don't get me wrong. I believe that Islam, like many religions, is a very corrupted version of a once pure thing, and been corrupted by chauvinists who seek power and dominion over other men. But the fact of the matter is, there's something that connects these people, and I've been demonstrating it for years now. This consistent pattern of not just fake news, but fake history. And we're made to think these guys are far, far away, and that the Russians are going to protect you. But what they're not telling you is that all of this has happened before. And the Russians helped. Because what is a Russian? Is it a Muscovite? Is it Kievan Rus? Is it the Siberian horde? You think there's nothing up there, right? There's a guy they call Jesus up there who leads the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Right there. Are those the Christians that are going to come help save you? Or is it the people on YouTube? Who want you to believe this bullshit here? I mean, I'm not saying Obama isn't a Freemason. I'm just saying that that's a photograph that people already know what it is. That was some sort of veterans honorary certificate thing, mabobber. And if you think that Freemasons wouldn't be able to mount something in a frame properly, you know, I mean, look, the top's cut off, dearies. You see, it's not just about propagandizing people and turning them against their government. It's about delighting in the whole idiot test, and feeling justified that if people are stupid enough to fall for this shit, then they deserve to be deceived. They deserve to have their political power, their free will taken from them. And this one channel, this only fucking channel, has been pointing out how much these people have been bullshitting you, why they've been doing it, and what army they serve. All of this has happened before. It's called the Horde. And it goes back to the schisms of Babylon and Nineveh and Alexander and Rome. It goes back to the empire of the Celts. And it's the reason why the Magdalenians wound up in caves. It's not because they were trying to hide from dinosaurs or what. I don't, well, a little, perhaps, but. And the occasional potential grizzly. What? Well, Betsy DeVos, she made sure we have guns in our schools in case of a potential grizzly.
Right. Crazy bitch.
We gotta make sure we have that covered. And yeah, while people were waiting for Obama to take their guns away, and talking about how evil Hillary Clinton was, there was a massive cover-up ongoing that took me until just recently to realize exactly how consistent and how investigatively obvious that is. And obvious to the point where it should be easily establishing probable cause for further investigation. When people lie about two people being friends to keep one of them or both of them from being suspected in a crime. When their friendship increases the likelihood that they'll be guilty. If their association, if guilt is dependent on their association, and a bunch of people are lying and saying that they have no association, you have a cover-up, and you almost definitely have a crime. Oh, I'm sorry, kid. Oh, I forgot I got my studio back. I can mute my loogies. But meanwhile, you are being told that people who believe in the fact that NASA lies means that the Earth might even be flat and we wouldn't fucking know it. You're told that those are the people who don't believe in climate change, when in fact, most of the reasonable, non-shill people I talked to who considered flat Earth to be an actual distinct possibility based upon their research and observations, they consider it even more important that we exercise stewardship in taking care of our environment, because the amount of air that we have is just as finite in a dome model as it is a ball model. But before we could ever have that discussion, we had well, first we had my channel just get fucking muted of views, and then Paul Manafort and Trump got together. That's a good picture of Paul Manafort, isn't it? That is definitely his angle. Mr. Conway, how's it going, sir? I tried to make it back earlier when you were on, but I was wading through the mucky muck, trying to find Wonder Boy.
Found lots of good food.
But anyways, now, I don't know if I'm just a crazy person or if I'm some sort of weird ancient spirit who's like tricked into thinking he's a deity, or I don't know. But regardless, when it came time for me to say we're in danger and the universe is going to back me up on this, and it's going to teach you all of these lessons that I've been trying to teach you, just to help make it even more obvious the danger that you're in, because people had trouble seeing that or taking me seriously about the whole comprehensive concept of it. Maybe people just can't grasp it. I don't know. But when it came time for the universe to speak up, I wonder what could have happened that could have been more obvious than the things that happened. I mean, short of defying free will. I'm sitting there telling you the Russians are coming. Now we know the fucking Russians came, man. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And you've got a huge evil surrounding you that was, until the time of this channel, completely unseen. And just for the record, it wasn't a meeting with Papadopoulos that led the FBI to it. The FBI responded immediately after I communicated with them the final time that, in 2016. But there was time after time when you were lost and you looked. And I was right here for you to find me. Like, how many times does my face need to be seen in the clouds right when I point a camera up to it? Just like randomly. Oh, look, there it is again. Hello. Fuck. And I personally think that's silly, but it's just like, you really want it that bad? Okay. Whatever. Now will you act like decent fucking children? No, I didn't think so. Yeah. Dude. Where's my karma? Just couldn't get it through your fucking skulls. No matter what miracles I did, no matter what logic, no matter what evidence. No matter how many different ways I showed you things that were much worse than the Illuminati or the Freemasons or the Bilderbergers. YouTube just cut me off. They could have helped save the world. Instead, they suppressed my channel. And I'm just saying, looks an awful lot like, because of that, they worked for Russia, not America. I'm just saying, because, I was trying to save America and they stopped me. I've been saying this for a long time now. Showing evidence for a long time now. Even with the Blundy Ranch, I said these fucking shills are testing out their ability to take over the government. That looks like a rebel flag, doesn't it? No. I think that's a rally in Rostov. But it didn't end there. Certainly not with the miracles, and certainly not with the evidence. But nothing I ever fucking did seemed to be good enough. Nothing I ever did seemed to make people want to see there's a big fucking army of shit that hates us. And it is doing everything it can to fuck us up. You see, one does not simply watch the Lost Begotten channel. One awakens to reality itself through this channel.
Reality sucks.
And while you're told, hey, look, there's some stars in Washington, D.C. or something on the map, it's all funny looking like a pentagram. In the middle of the Horde territory, there's a city that's made to be a fucking space viewable Olmec. Complete with pyramid penis. Do I have the pyramid penis handy? I always try to keep the pyramid penis handy. What else do you do with a pyramid penis? Let's just look at all the close-ups of the Olmec stuff. We've got a few. This is some freaky shit. And, of course, the pyramid penis. Yep, that's it right there.
I just found new stories.
The penis.
Eternity Port. PP.
So, how creepy does Washington, D.C. look now? Sorry, I'm not home right now. Walking in a spider web, but leave a message and I'll call you back. Oh, but that doesn't say anything, Sean. That's, just like what you're saying that the people about D.C. were doing. That's just speculation based on some hyperbolic nonsense. Okay. Well, let's get back to our friend Kadyrov, shall we? Because last I checked, this reward, quote-unquote, that Putin gave the faithful Islamic people after Kadyrov sort of deployed the Islamic State, that's not hyperbolic, that's not speculative. That really happened. Islamic State was sent by Putin's Chechens. They are Putin's Chechens. The same people who ran weapons and supplies to the Baathists in Iraq before Saddam fell. And I'm skipping through dozens, just selecting a couple of the many, many, many images I have of these guys in these exact same clothes with these exact same weapons. And these are the guys that are all lined up right there behind Kadyrov in this rally. And it's Chechen, Syrian, GoPro. There's the leader of Chechnya. That's Kadyrov. It's hardly even a secret. But at the same time, he calls them Daesh and acts like they're scum, but he's the one, It's just like a mafia boss calling his own men scum because he's in front of the reporters, just because he's just a pillar of the community, he supports charities and stuff. Too much to ask for you to review this with me. You're all absorbed in people's court. Oh, excuse me, paternity court.
I hope cook.
So let's see here. Where are the rest of these tie-in images? These are the guys. Okay. You can see them right there. You can see them right there. See that prison right there? That's where the real Islamic State came from. Okay? It was the Chechens who took Mosul. But as far as like the Islamic State that went and swore allegiance to al-Baghdadi, those are the guys that the Chechens released from this prison right here. That's what they're doing. They're busting people out of jail. It's a very common tactic in warfare. Especially when there's a lot of political jailings. You go and liberate your political party who is in jail. Then you have them all in one place and you give them a bunch of weapons and you take the fuck over. Let's see here. I thought I had a couple more really good ones in this particular folder, though. Well, there's that. I mean, they're right there by the fucking Islamic State flag. Yep. Just changing a couple different pieces of clothing, you know. But these are the guys. That is the Islamic State. A bunch of mercenaries that Russia unleashed with the help of Kadyrov in Chechnya as cover for Kadyrov's real objective of basically securing Turkey as an ally of Russia against NATO. And that's what it's been about for quite some time. It's about the entire Middle East. I mean, they had people sitting there talking about why wouldn't Obama attack Syria? Meanwhile, they got Russian ships with fucking guys with rocket launchers going through the strait in Turkey. And you got Russian ships off the coast of Syria threatening to shoot down our planes and shit. Nobody on the news talking about that. But I'm the one who gets demonetized for talking about actual things that have actual consequences. And even though when people don't listen to me and say, keep sending waves of migrants, for some reason Google thinks that it's okay to just not let them hear the message. Meanwhile, the horde does what it's always done. Now, you get your incomplete picture here and there. You get one picture or the other, sometimes. But what no one ever seems to effectively communicate is that this has been going on for as long as what you know of as civilization has existed. You see, all these people who weren't even willing to look this far into the present certainly didn't want you to look at the lurking shadow of history. That dark, shaded area they never teach you about. You have no idea how many spies had to become educators for that to happen. But you think the horde was a long time ago. Certainly nowhere near the time of America's discovery. Certainly not right at its peak at the time of America's discovery. Because, you've all been so well educated. Evolution is real, the Bible is for morons, right? Wrong. Evolution is for morons, and the Bible is for people who can actually fucking read. However, if you think the so-called Christians are the model of what the result of the Bible should be, I just don't even know what to tell you. Read that. Think about it. You should be able to figure it out. Because while you were all talking about Hillary Clinton and Benghazi, I was just trying to point out that there was a bigger picture. And frankly, how many years does Putin have to be in support of terrorists before we realize why all these Russian propagandists colluded together to make that lie? That lie that was the ultimate central starting point of their entire power play. The lie that the United States government was behind terrorism. Consistently they told this lie, not just regarding 9/11. They blamed John McCain for ISIS. Meanwhile, nobody mentioned the fact that the Russians were, by the time of the protest, even in Gaddafi's absence, building a base in Libya. Guess where? Benghazi! And those of us who had, maybe it was just my wife and I, but it was because of our experience watching how the so-called protests and everything unfolded in Ukraine. That we knew that this whole assassination hidden in a protest was a coordinated effort. And as far as me knowing, this goes back to a vast historical pattern for me. That is not even the start of the Horde. That is just an expansion of the Horde. Empire of the Great Khan is nothing. The Golden Horde nothing. All of these people worked for a nomadic emperor. Genghis had a lot of pretense in trying to pretend to be him. But that's exactly the kind of bullshit that they pull. Always plans within plans. Always leaders within leaders. But all I could do was show you when it was happening, how long I've been warning that it was going to happen, and ask God to show you miracles. Give me the power to show miracles, and give my wife the power to show miracles, and try to get them on film. That would help reinforce our message of divide and conquer and how to resist it. Our message of we're being set on the wrong path by a foreign oppressor, and what those paths look like, far left and far right. That's a hell of a chance photo to wind up taking on the internet when you notice a rainbow, dear. Just happens to be right in between the streets, Hollywood and Evangeline. How much more far left and far right can you get? George. So named for a legend humanity's lost and retold. The Lich King. Heru-Ur. Mars. Sounding familiar yet? The god of war. Hercules. The bastard son. The divergence between the New Age regenerative mythos of Horus and Anubis, one being compared to Hercules and Jesus, and the other being compared to John the Baptist. All very interesting and rather appropriate, though not in the way that it's interpreted. Let's see, what was Medusa in relation to, who would he be in that pantheon? Hermes or something? Fuck. You'd be better off going into fairy tales. Says the guy who can do this. But you see, in the power of the muses that one envelops themselves in when they watch Final Fantasy or Lord of the Rings or sometimes even Star Trek or just a random fucking cartoon. Invariably, when evil takes the form of a female, isn't there a resemblance to Medusa? When you were younger, when you saw Conan, Did you have nightmares about Medusa as if she was some all-powerful evil goddess? Didn't it seem like Medusa was a hell of a lot more evil than anything you'd ever seen before? Didn't it just feel that way? I don't give a fuck what they wrote in their little books about this guy being the son of this guy and that guy being the son of this guy. Those were all lies from the time of Zeus. Who is what, my grandson? I had a lot of grandsons. Well, you might be relieved to know that it was in 2011 that that particular goddess found her way somewhere that she won't be getting out of. And in fact, her linear spirit has been redeemed. And even though there's an old dimension in which she still kind of wriggles, when was that? I get a date to pop up. That was August 11th, 2017 versus 2011. Man, that was the best I could do, but I was focusing more on spiritual pressuring the entity, trying to focus as much as I could on taking a picture. There's the rest of them from last year. Yeah, don't look too close. There's some weird shit in there. Get these fucking things off here already? Okay, trying to delete. This, I believe, was a still shot from the video when I turned the camera back around to myself during the exorcism of the sun. And in that video, which I had reposted, I think, or at least we went through here in this on the laptop here, or on the desktop, through the software. The software I'm using now. We viewed it. And you can see at the bottom of the screen a very Shroud of Turin-like image appear in the sun flares, while off to the side this Medusa-looking face turns into what looks like the Egyptian Eye of Hathor. And long story short, that's why the Kardashians aren't that popular anymore. And it was in that time, let's see, I know I at least have a still shot from the moment of the second exorcism. Let me delete this before I just clog up my RAM all of this. Okay, there's only a couple more things. Right, cool. Stop hitting the home key. There you go. What's this one? Oh yeah. There's another fine example of the universe speaking to me. Largely the issue was whether or not to accept Trump as president. And then we had, what was the ones from the other day? Those were fucking profound. Like, oh, here's one of them. Oh yeah, I was talking about, like earlier that day I was talking about how I'd rather not be doing these fucking streams. Like I was just tedious, but like I felt like I had to. And Fortune actually said, each day, compel yourself to do something you would rather not do. Oh man. Is it fortune cookie or a fucking palm reading? Come on. Yeah, we woke up in 2011 when the world was wondering why the hell that happened. And all I can say is similar. A little bit. Anyways, let me find this. So this is Lucifer's exit. That would be pride. Oh, look, there's the red part. I'm not sure which one of these goes first. But you can also see it's kind of Orb City in the background, too. But on the video, there's a very distinct twisting motion. And what I noticed on one particular full screen freeze of it, and by all means view this on as big a screen as possible. So there's an old preternatural dimension which, like, the king of the underworld is sort of a pirate, and he has a hat with three corners, and that's sort of the dream universe of whoever sits on the throne. So if the throne is usurped, they have the hat with three corners, or at this point when Gabriel was returned to the throne, you can see he had the hat with three corners. Now there's the bizarre owl-faced version of Hathor. That is sort of her inner self as opposed to her terrifying self. If you continue to look at that image, you'll notice that those aren't even the only faces that are present. Those are just the ones that I found identifiable by fractal archetype. Anyways, that's just back in 2011 when I broke reality. No big deal. That's why all the UFO phenomenon basically stopped. Because, Toto, you're not in Kansas anymore. And Alex Jones is just quoting me in mockery of my suppression when he said that. Anyways. The internet has been rife with conspiracy theories. All of them coming from a place that seems to omit itself in all of guilt and focusing on their enemy, coincidentally enough, as far as the target of who is the boogeyman. But it doesn't matter how many times I say something and it comes true. Unlike all these other fucking people with all these millions of dollars from advertisements when they were talking about Sandy Hook and shit. Nothing they ever say comes true. Ever. And what, I'm stupid for noticing that this doesn't happen in reality? That happens on a green screen. So do they have a green screen in space? Or do they have a green screen in a Boeing 747 that flies downward for like 20 minutes at a time and helps people pretend to be weightless? Because you can put a green screen in that, no problem. All I know is that Scott Kelly right there is using a green screen to pretend to catch a football from Stephen Colbert. It's supposed to be in space at the time. It's supposed to be like they just film him catching a football that somebody else threw. Right? Because you're in space, and that's how you would do that. So what's with the fucking green screen? But I suppose everything else I say should be ignored because I noticed that. I'm sorry, I notice things. And for those of you that don't, here's to you. Anyways. So, it has been a genuinely good long time since we had a nice channel review. Gone over all the shit that we've talked about. And the content that has been exclusively discussed here, and how much more, just as far as analytical or news analysis value it is, than anything InfoWars or anything of the like ever had to offer. I'm not like trying to be braggadocious. I'm simply stating this because of the damage that it's doing to society, these things not being known. You know? So, I can't even overstate the value of the content of this channel when you consider that. Meanwhile, you know, you think it's okay to mock me because I want to tell you that Jesus is Gaelic for I am. And then what happened? What happened immediately after that? The whole world was saying, Je suis Charlie. That wasn't the first time, and that wasn't the only time. You wouldn't listen to a lesson, so the world had to teach it. There was way back when I said, look here, baby birds. The story of John the Baptist and Mary Magdalene is a true story of the Christ. Bless you. And that story involves many sneezes. I think you just got some on Blatty. Ew. And I told you, baby birds, that if you don't listen to me, I'm going to throw a kitten on your face. No. Poor Tiger Lily.
No.
I told you if you don't listen to me, just like all these other times that the universe tried to tell you what I'm telling you, tried to tell you to listen to me, tried to tell you not to dismiss me, tried to tell you I was right about certain things. I said when it comes to the chauvinist conspiracy to keep Mary from ascending, before the election had even started, before Hillary Clinton had announced her candidacy, I said I would bend the universe to prove to you that they would conspire to keep a woman from rising to power. What happened? You didn't listen to me about Russia and Syria before anybody in the media even fucking acknowledged that they had any kind of military presence in Syria. You wouldn't listen to me about Russia supplying North Korea with arms and possibly Mongolian or Manchurian soldiers. Modern Russian equipment. You know, I could flash up some actual Russian equipment and you'd never know. Especially considering that they all have the same little stickers on them. The one on the right is from Russia, the one on the left is from North Korea. You think those are separate armies? That's a Mongolian insignia. This is the Horde. It always has been. That's why it's called the never-ending Horde. Because that whole ending thing, I don't remember when it happened. Do you? Yep, doesn't look like it ended to me. Oh, but it's just Russia's little parade. Yeah, it's the biggest parade ever. Every year, they have another biggest parade ever. And, when they were invading Ukraine, they also gave North Korea a bunch of fire trucks. And, well, I don't know if you see the similarity in the whole way they operate. But then there's also China. And like I said, Mongolia and Manchuria, which you just don't hear about. But, you know, similar parades. Now, see, overall, obviously, I didn't get my way. Because we're still stuck with Corporal Bone Spurs and shit. But the lesson that I wanted to teach is much more important than me getting my way or my children being spoiled or, you know, justice being doled out to the cell phone strangler of East Dublin. Who, by the way, when he said lock her up, at the time, when that was live on CNN, the lock her up chant led by Flynn, I said, oh, you're gonna get charged. You're gonna get locked up. You're going to jail. And Hillary isn't. How you like that, Methapolis? And it didn't seem anybody knew at the time about all this Russia shit. Because, you know, they hadn't been paying attention to things that had been happening for quite some fucking time. Let alone, like, all of history. Because, you know, all of history just isn't taught properly. Instead, we're focused on what's the most popular type of porn they're downloading in a given country. Well, just for the record, in Russia, it's anal. How about that? But let's talk all about flat Earth without talking about Russia at all, huh? Oh, yeah. That's not a ploy to keep observant people distracted while turning them against their own government. While they build a bunch of bases in the North Pole. Oh, but it couldn't be them. They couldn't be up to anything sinister. There's certainly nothing weird about anything in their architecture. It's all, oh, look at the Catholic Church. Oh, look at Washington, D.C. Oh. Motherfucker. Look at all the AK-47s. Okay? Look at how they go from supporting far left-wing anti-capitalist lunatics to supporting fucking generalissimo fucking dumbass. There we go. Generalissimo dumbass. And Dr. Evil. But you want to talk about the Bilderbergers and the Freemasons and the Illuminati and Trilateral Commission. And which one of those is those things? Just those are the creepiest things I've ever seen. Oh, none of those things are Bilderbergers or Trilateral. No. Where is that again? Is that in the weird pentagram inside of Washington, D.C.? No. Oh. That would be what's that place? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, no, wait. I don't want it on the tip of my tongue. Because it's a penis! Pyramid penis. There it is. Astana, Kazakhstan. It's kind of like a little attempt at building like a New York, like a little Mammonite capital, like a place where business people can go to fuck over all the poor people in the world. It's literally the center of the Whore of Babylon prophecy coming true. And that's what you're looking at when you see all these little meetings. You're seeing the men of the earth whoring after the beast. The beast with no name. You see two heads, I see one. It didn't matter how many warnings and how loudly the universe spoke in light of those warnings. No matter how bright the light got. YouTube. Google. 666. The mark of the beast, right? Oh wait, that's in Russia again too. Shit. But if the scarlet beast, that nation from the north parts, that comes down so that the heathen may know that I am the Lord. Ezekiel 38:12. The beast, the number of the beast is 666. Google's logo, 666. They work for the beast, Russia. It's like John the Baptist was a clever guy or something. Also quite handsome. I clicked that. I was clicked. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Occasionally spastic. Just a bit. Dingo. CERN. Oh, Jesus. Why do you just quote propaganda? Come on. Just look at that. Look at what you just spat out. CERN. Let's talk about HARP next. CERN. I'm not concerned about CERN. You can't blow apart reality with waves. All they're doing is making particles. That's all they're doing. There's no danger whatsoever to what they're doing. I know. Just don't minimalize the subject though. CERN is another one of them things where it's just a big fucking waste of money is really what it all boils down to. But by trying to debate whether or not it's gonna end the world and bring about the apocalypse and shit like that, people kind of avoid debating whether or not it's a waste of money. Don't they? So if I was the people who wanted to keep CERN operational, I would go out and I would spread the rumors that it would end the world. Get people talking about that. Just saying. Occam's razor. Bullshit solved. It's funny. Occam's razor needs to come with a cleaning kit because of how good it is for slicing through bullshit. Anyway. Yep. They probably put that in there on purpose. And in fact, any Russian scientist, and you can bet your ass there were a lot of Russian scientists involved in that, would have been more than inclined to embed that wherever they could, just for shits and giggles. I mean, it takes an old cunt to understand their exact personality, how they operate. And what can I say? I'm just the right kind of old cunt. So, turned out to be a pretty decent slideshow here, despite the occasional pyramid penis. Like, seriously. That's a guy standing there, and here we're supposed to be the enslaver of Gabriel. Gabriel represented by a red, amber, and blue orb. The New Orleans UFO I talked about frequently, the one that I filmed in 2011 on the Lost Begotten channel. UFO New Orleans, Archangel Gabriel, and on plenty of other different UFO videos filmed from 2010 to 2011, showing this side-to-side strafing, hovering, kind of small-looking, but seemingly shape-changing UFO. And there it is in the mouth of whatever this thing is. So to me, that's a representation of Harrower, the enslaver of Gabriel. Tricked him into murdering a bunch of people. You know part of the story, I'm sure. He doesn't want me to tell it, though. So maybe later. That cross goes on top like so. And then the pyramid penis. Oh yeah, that I'm actually really me, and this is actually the war between heaven and hell happening, and nobody realizes it. Is here? Oh, cool. That's about as cool as it gets, folks. But for now, we're gonna have to call this a broadcast.
Broadcast.
I hope you enjoyed the little review. That surely it wasn't even all the evidence and material. What are you doing to me?
I was trying to pick your nose, but it's really hard.
Remember, you can pick your nose and you can pick your friends, but you can't wipe your friends on the back of the couch. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click the like button and delete all your images before they get in the way. Peace. I don't know.
down in my soul. You, baby, you can't take it no more. No, I know I'm walking out that door the way you treated me too many times before. I know I gotta keep you by my side till the day I die. 'Cause baby, ecstasy is in my hand. Oh, when I'm holding yours in mine and walking in the sand. Oh, baby, you know it's fine. But now you done and piss me off. You went and done something you shouldn't have done. And baby, I'm mad. I'm going on. Oh, I'm going on. I can't take it, baby. I can't take it no more.